I was inspired by Jennifer Clouston's book, Foolproof Free-Form Embroidery. I love the book. And two of the projects in the book that I decided that I wanted to do, I'll show you. Is a little scissor keep. Which I have a short and a video on. I made this cute little scissor keep. Has a little button inside that holds the scissors, and that way they don't fall out. So I did this, I kind of made this my own. And the second one is this stitching. It's a stitch sample book. So this is the cover. I took the pages out because I've been working on them, and I'll just show you what I've done so far. This one is my first attempt at feather stitching. It's a little wonky, but you know what? It was fun. I think it looks good on the page. Let's see, the other one I did was this one, and that's just stem stitch. I doubled up on the embroidery thread just to kind of make it a little bit more substantial. Everything else I put on there is going to be lighter, and I think that will be nice. I like the shape of it. I'm not following her exactly because I am nowhere near the level that she's at. I just thought this might be something fun for me to do. So then I did, this is chain stitch, and I just made my own design. And then this one, I made up the stitch. It's not even a real stitch. It's just a bunch of crisscrosses. I made it into like a tree. So I'm gonna do like a fall page. I just think it's cute. I mean, I'm just having fun with it. And you know what? It comes out however it comes out. And then I'll, I can decide at that point when I finish it, is this something I really want to do? Do I want to invest in, this hobby? Is it something I'm going to do on a regular basis? Or is it just something I wanted to try? That's fine too. So I've got my some needles already threaded for me to go ahead, and I'll show you. I was doing some herringbone stitch. And the first time I did it, it came out so wonky. It's right here. It's a mess. Because I didn't stabilize the material, which that's the first thing she tells you to do, and I didn't do it. And guess what? She was right. You need to stabilize. I'm just going to do what works for me. So I still have 4 more pages left to go. So I just bring it into my bedroom at night. I've got my cute little embroidery kit, and I'm using it. It stays in my bedroom. I've got her book for inspiration. I'm just going to keep working in it. So I think this is going to be fun. It's going to take a long time to do, but I'm not in a rush. I'm doing it when I feel like doing it. It's something very enjoyable to do while I'm watching TV. I watch a lot of YouTube videos at night. And so I'm thrilled to have it. And I'm excited to see how it's going to come out. So I just wanted to give you an update on that because I showed the book, but I didn't show you any of my progress, and I'd like you to know that yes, I am still working on this, and I'm having a blast with it. I love it. evening, everyone. This is Terry from Allen Art and Design. Hope everybody's having a good evening. I wanted to get caught up on my stitch sample book that I was inspired by Jennifer Clouston's Foolproof Freeform Embroidery book. I love this book. I put my colored tabs on. I did like a little review of this book when I first got it, and I said I was going to label my tabs, and I did go ahead and do that, and it's been very helpful. So I want to show you what I've done lately. I've been working on this on and off. It's really a lot of fun. Something that's very relaxing. So this is just some quilted material. I've got some lace and different types of materials, different types of laces. I think there's 3 different types of laces on this front. Let me go ahead and show you. I went ahead and covered the inside with this. It was a table runner. It was kind of ugly, but you know what? I just want to use it up. So I lined the inside. I used some stitches just to connect the 2 pieces of material, just to make one piece. And then I stitched on some lace around the edges, just with a running stitch. I think it's pretty. That's the inside. And I decided that I want to add a page on the front and back cover, and I'll once they're completed, I will stitch them in just with a running stitch, maybe with a color or something, or maybe not. I don't know. I haven't decided. That's a long ways away from now, but I think that that's going to look great. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you page by page what I've done so far. So on this page, I started with my foundation stitches, and I'll show you in the book. That Jennifer uses foundation stitches, and they're like fern stitches and different variations. Feather stitches, chain stitches. I'm using some of my own stitches, like a stem stitch. I don't see that she was using stem stitch. That's one that I've decided to use. I'm using this as a reference, and it's given me some inspiration and ideas, but I'm not doing exactly what is in this book, but I'm referring to this to help me create something beautiful and something I've never done before. This one's sticking way out, rose leaves. Okay, I think this belongs to another page. So on this page, what I've done is I've done stem stitch. I've done some French knots. And I've also done some ribbon leaves. I don't like these ribbon leaves because the color is too light. It barely shows up. So I'm gonna pull those out, and I'm gonna use a different color. Something that will help coordinate. I like to coordinate the pages from, with the one that's across from it. So I might bring in this darker color and do some leaves that way. But this one was a lot of fun. It's starting to come together. I've got my foundation stitch. I have some pressure points. I need to add some movement and some softening. That's what I'll do next on that one. But I think what I'm going to do is take out the ribbon first. I'd like to try to find this color here. I don't know if I'll be able to find that in like a ribbon, but I can just use embroidery thread and do this color over here because I know I have more of that. And so on this page, this is a variation of a twisted chain stitch. This is my version. It's not very good, but at first I just made it up, but then I looked in the book, and I'll show you what I'm referring to. Let's see. A twisted chain right here. I don't want you to get a glare, so I'm going to hold it up. This one, right here, looks a lot like this one right here. So that's what I'm calling it. I think I better put that over there. Okay, so that's what I did there. Twisted chain and leaf stitch. Now, I've never done a leaf stitch before. These are kind of wonky. I went online and saw somebody making different versions of leaf stitches, and I kind of messed them up, but this one actually came out, I think, the best. So I got to practice that, but this is going to be like a fall one, so there's going to be a lot of different leaves. I'm going to have leaves on the ground, more leaves up top, but different colors, fall colors, and I think that that will look nice. It's like I said, this is a sample book, so I am just practicing. All right, so this next one, sorry for all the messy threads, but that's the thread I'm going to use for working on this. I didn't stabilize this piece of material, and I did go ahead and stabilize my other ones, and it works beautifully. Jennifer's right, you need to stabilize it, otherwise it's just too floppy and hard to manage. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stabilize that. What I've only, so far on this page, I've only used a stem stitch. I used, this is thicker. This has like 4 strands. This is just regular. I'm just using embroidery thread. I'll show you. Hopefully I won't get a glare, but I might. Let's see. I'm just using up some embroidery threads that I have. I just want to use them up. So the colors that are in this book are being dictated by the embroidery thread that I have available to me. I'm just using, I've got ribbon. It's not even the colors that I want, but I want to kind of use some of this up, so. And then these are just extra threads when I'm stitching. I guess Jennifer would call them orts. So that's what I got there. And then these, I've got more threads in here. So I'm just using what I have. And that's what I'm using. I do have, let me show you. I mean, I do have a lot of threads that if I need a color that I don't have in that bag, obviously I can go to this and pick a color that I like. So I'm not strictly sticking with that, but I kind of want to just use this stuff up. It's random, but I really want to use it up. I'm all about using things up these days. Okay, so this one, what I'm going to do with this page is after I finish putting all of these little pressure points at the top of each one of these, and this is kind of a, oh, what is it called? A straight, let me look in the back here. I think it's a straight leaf stitch. Yep, a straight leaf stitch right there. And that's my version of it. I mean, nothing I do is going to be exactly what Jennifer does, but she's inspiring me to actually do something like this. This one here has a feather stitch on this side, and this is like that twisted chain. These are, I am not a purist. These are not like exact at all. They're just my versions of these kind of stitches, and I like it. And let's see. And I put herringbone stitches on each of the pages when I first started this. I ironed the laces and the materials on, and I used iron-on fusible interfacing. And after that, I just went ahead on each page and I stitched the herringbone stitch on every page. It's on each of the pages, and that was just my foundation. That was the beginning of it all. All right, did I show you? Yeah, so this is the next one. This only has 2 stitches on it. I just think this page is great. It has a lot of impact, even though I've only done 2 things. This is a beautiful, I don't even know what they call this. It came on a spool, and it has all these little, there's so much texture there. It wasn't easy to sew with this. These are lazy daisies, and this is chain stitch. But they added so much texture just by using that one type of thread that had all these little, they almost look like little leaves. Is that, I don't know what they call this. It's some kind of thread with little, they look like little leaves or something. This is what I use. They're beautiful. So I just thought I'd try something colorful there. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna bring some of the orange that I used for these French knots. I'm gonna bring that over here, and then I'm gonna bring this aqua color, because I already have pink and there's already green, so I want to add some of the aqua color over here, something that's a different blue than this. This is like a greeny blue, like a teal, but this is more of a bright blue. So I'm gonna, I like my pages that are across, you know, from each other to have complementary colors. Now this one, it's very simple, but I love the look of it. This is a, it's a type of a fern stitch. And then I have French knots, and these are those straight leaf. But these are pressure points. This is foundation. I need to add some movement in there, and then I'll add some softening, and then I'll go from there. So once I get all of my pages up to that point, I will come back and show everybody where I am with this book. But I've done quite a bit, I think, and what a difference from when I first started. Here, these little notes are just to remind me of what kind of stitches I used. This is a stem stitch. That's a foundation stitch. I'm just, I'm using what I want to use in my book, and I'm taking some of the things that are in her book and adding them into my pages as inspiration. So these are lazy daisies, and those are the straight leaf. Now I kind of messed up on this a little bit. Like, this is like the best one, I think. The other ones are a little wonky, and it took me a while when I first started to figure out how many I needed, and this is how many I need. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7, and I love the look of that. And I've done some other ones in the book, but I used less, and it made it like tighter and smaller. And then I also tried making ribbon roses. Aren't these cute? I think I'm gonna put like a little bead. I'm gonna stitch a bead in the middle of one of them, it's like a bright pink or a bright yellow, not sure yet what. And then this one I still have to stabilize. This is the other side of this one that was not stabilized. I need to stabilize that so that I can continue to work. This one, when I'm done with all of these straight leaf stitches on each one, I'm going to cover them with French knots. I think that that's going to look really pretty. So then, excuse the back of my pages, you know, they're a mess, but that's okay. And now this one here, I did a chain stitch. Now, if I did this again, I would not use, this has 6 strands, it's way too thick. But I don't want to pull the whole thing out, it's fine. This is a practice book, so I know now if I want to use a chain stitch, I would probably use like 4, maybe 3 strands. Now, I consider these little orange ones, these are my movement. These are my pressure points. Now, I haven't finished these yet, though. I'm going to put little lazy daisies on the top of them. These, I feel like they're my movement. And then I'll add some softening in between each one of these somewhere. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but so I feel like I've got my foundation stitch, I got my pressure points, I've got some movement. That's great. So what I want to do is I'm going to add some purple. I think I'm going to add French knots at the end of each one of these purple ones. And then I'm going to add some kind of pink leaves or something in here. And then I'm going to add purple and pink on this side so that like I said, I like the colors to kind of coordinate with each other. Now this one, this is a fern stitch, or my variation of a fern stitch. And the next thing I'm going to do is add some pressure points, and then this is going to be my movement. I've already used my marking pen there, so that'll be my movement. I got to do my pressure points next, and then I'll do my movement. So I think I'm moving along here in this book pretty well. I'm having a lot of fun with it. This, like I said, I'm going to stitch that all when I'm finished with it. This one and the one in the front, when I'm finished stitching those, I will stitch that all around with a running stitch, and the back will be covered. So what I had to do is, because I used one of my pages to line it, I had to add in another page. I'll show you. This page, yeah, I added this one to go with this one because I'm using this, and this one didn't have a partner anymore because you have to have a front and a back. So I just added another page. This is the one I haven't stabilized yet. That's how I know it's the one I just added in. So I think it's going to be lots of fun. I'm really enjoying trying new things. This is something new that I wouldn't normally do, but it's coming out pretty good. I like it. This I love. There's a few pages that I really love, like this one. Once I take that out and do some different leaves, I just love the shape of it. I had fun doing the French knots. This one's fun because it's all swirly, and I love these little roses. So this is going to be fun. So I'm going to be adding in some blue onto this one because I want to pick up on the blue in the roses. And I have no idea what I'm doing here. I'll try to do something that coordinates. And I think it's coming along. I'm really enjoying it. I think that's the last page. It is. So there I am. I've caught you up on where I am with my stitch book. Oh, the back. I've decided to just do something completely different. This is just a running stitch. And I want to make like little roses at the top and just some leaves, and that might be all I do on this page. I haven't decided what kind of roses I'm going to do yet, whether they're going to be, they might be ribbon roses. That might be fun. I've never done one before, and I think those would be great right there. Maybe I'll do multicolored ones, and then I'll do some leaves. And then the front will be the last thing I do. I have no idea what I'm going to do on the front. I'm gonna do something that kind of goes up like this, up here, and then goes out like with a flower, some flowers that run up there. I don't know yet, but I'd like to try some of the new stitches that I'm trying in this book and come up with something pretty for the front. And once I'm done with that, I will sew everything in, and I will have myself a beautiful sample stitch book. Thank you for Jennifer for inspiring me to do this. It's been a lot of fun, and I'll go ahead and show you some other sewing projects that I'm going to be working on. I got to show you this. My daughter gave me this. This is some kind of a cloth for a baby. I don't know if you throw it over your shoulder or what you do. It's got a little bit of kitty hair on it from my Louie. I could see that. So what I thought, I'm like, wow, that's really kind of cool. What could I do with it? Well, guess what? I thought that I could make a housewife, or they call it a hussif, or a housewife. I thought that I could make something like that. This is just scraps. I'll probably cut it and make some kind of a pocket or something out of it. I don't know. There's more here. I'm just using up scraps, and I think that this might be cute. Like, it'll open up. There'll be some felt in there. You can put needles in it. I'm not really sure. I started out with this cloth, this color, but I like this better. But I am going to use this because I've already started using it in there. And I'll figure out how to, I got to watch some videos on how people make these. And I think that that's going to be a lot of fun. So I started putting some things together. So then once it's done, you would just roll it up and then attach it somehow. I think that's going to be fun. I might take this one and just like leave it, keep it in a little bag, and whenever I want to stitch on something, I've got this little project started. Let's see, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to be doing another subscriber giveaway soon. I have one more journal, a naked journal, and I have another needle book that I completed. Those are going to be what people can choose from, and maybe even this one, because I'm almost done with this. I just love the way this looks. Let me take everything out. I love how this looks. It's a little bit wonky, like it's a little bit wider on the top than it is on the bottom, and I just think that has something to do with all the stitching I did on it. I did a lot of straight stitches. That's basically all I did, was straight stitches and just a little overcast stitch to put these yo-yos on, buttons. So that's the cover, and then I lined it and I did a blanket stitch all the way around. I love the way that looks. Then the next thing I'm going to do is sew in a pocket. I love pockets. I sew them into everything. So that'll be nice. Then I have another page here I'm going to sew in, and I'm going to add some felt for needles and pins. And I'm going to cover these. It's a little piece of felt, but I thought I would stitch this together. Because it goes with the lining, I just think it's going to look nice. I'm just trying to give you an idea of what it will look like when I'm done. I think it's going to be good. I like how rustic this one is. It's not fancy at all. It's just rustic. Okay, there's another page, one more page here. Like, yeah, all I need is one of these squares. So I'll just put that together so that everything's ready for me to stitch. And I'm just going to hand stitch this together, and it will just look like that. And again, it has the felt inside, so you'll be able to put pins and needles in it. Do this one too, and I'll be ready to finish this book. And once I'm done, I'll just leave those probably plain. Once I cover these, I can sew the pages in, and this book is going to be done. So this might be one of the ones that goes into my 5th subscriber giveaway. Do you believe it? I've done 4 so far, and now I'm going to be doing a 5th. Once I hit 300, and I can just pin that in. That's going to be really cute. I'm just going to go ahead and like pin these together, just so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. There's that one. I think this is going to be really cute. Yeah, I'll do some like blanket stitch around there. I have to decide if I want to put anything on this one. I probably should. Maybe I'll do like a little flip. Maybe lace would be nice. So there's that book. That's another project I'm working on. And I love how this sticks out like that. And it feels really good in your hands. I was thinking about putting buttons on the back, but I've decided not to. These buttons are enough. And I think every time you pick it up and put it down, all you're gonna hear are like the buttons, and I don't want that. So I love how this came out though. This was a lot of fun to do. All right, so there's another project. Let me see what else I have. This is one of my pin cushions that I made out of a piece of china. I keep this one in my bedroom. I really like that. I didn't think I liked it because of the shape of it, but I actually do like it. I'll put that in there. Let's see, the next thing I wanted to show you was this was supposed to be a flower journal, but I decided, because it was made out of, this is a photo album cover, but I love this. It's upholstery material, and I just love how it looks. And I decided I'm going to turn it into another stitch book, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. I'm going to cover the inside, and what will happen is I will either make or I'll find a little piece of embroidery that'll go right in here, and then I'll cover this. Once I put my embroidery in there, then I will cover the inside here. I'll just use some pinking shears and cut it, and then I'll glue it in. And then this could be, I don't think I would use the same material for pockets. I would probably use some lace or something, or maybe something with some embroidery on it. That's probably what I'll do. But I want to show you what I'm going to do in here. I'm just using up scraps of material. This, I think, is going to be really cool. I don't think it's going to look like that, though. I think what I need to do is, I'm going to have to cut this, but what I'm going to do is, I might have to cut this material in half. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do right now. Watch. I'm going to cut this. Because what I want to do is, I'm going to add in some page. These are going to be little things that you can attach embroidery pages to. They're like little leaves. So I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's close this and see if 4 is going to be good. Because, you know, usually they're thick. And there'll be 2 pages on each. So that'll be 2, 4, 6, 8. I think that's going to be enough. So what you would do is, I can just use this as an example. Let me take one of these out of my other book. And what you would do is, once this is sewed in, I will cover it with this. This will be sticking up like this. And there'll be a piece here. Let me, I'm gonna cut this too. I'll cut it longer so that I don't, in case I need extra, I'll just cut that. But what I want to show you is, I'll put that underneath and I'll cut it to fit and everything. And I might turn the edges over and stitch them. So this will be like this. Stitched in or glued in, however I want to do it. So they'll be part of the book. And the same thing will happen over here. I'll just turn it in, stitch it so that it fits right there. Look at that. This is all I have left of this material too that I was using. So I'm gonna get to use something up again, which I love. And you won't see this. This will be turned under and stitched like that. You won't even see that. It'll be under there on the top and the bottom. So this will all be attached. So what you would do is take one of these pages that I've made, say I made a few pages. What you would do is either glue it or stitch it there, and glue it or stitch it here. And then you have the beginnings of your book. So there's 2 pages right there. I'll just take this book apart for right now and then we'll do another one. So you would stitch right there, stitch it in, flip this over. This is a little leaf. They call it a leaf. And then you stitch that. And now look, you've got 2 pages but 4 sides. 1, 2, we'll do another one. Stitch it in, flip it over, and I'll make sure that each one of these is evenly spaced. This is going to be a fun project too. I'm looking forward to this one. I don't think this is going to be that difficult either. So you would take this one and stitch that in there, right here, along here. Flip it over and stitch this one. Oops, I'm getting out of hand here. Stitch that one right there. And again, wait, I gotta fix it. It's just because it's not together yet. Oh, here it is. It's this piece, it's stitched on there, and then this piece gets stitched in here. And now you have 3 pages and 6 sides. That's all stitched there. This one, this one, this one, and then I'd have one more. So this, it wouldn't be that big. This can go under here a little bit more. And I'll stitch it all together. I'm going to stitch this part with my sewing machine so that it's nice and rigid. I might even put some stabilizer inside each side, and that will give it a little bit more structure, which is what it's going to need for this. Yeah. Okay, and then I have one more. This will be underneath. You won't even see all that stuff. And we'll have one more leaf, and we'll take another page, and we'll stitch one here, flip it over, and stitch the other side. And you'll have another stitch book. I'm gonna have to start working on the construction of this book, but also making some pages to work on. This will probably be, once I finish this book, this one here, once I finish this book, I will work on this one. So I'm already started thinking about this whole process, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. And I have lots of scraps that I can use to make these pages and all that. Trying to use things up, and what a great way to reuse some of your things. So look at each leaf holds a page in. I love it. So they'll just be attached like that. like this one too, like that. I think that's going to be great. So they will just flip like this. And the leaves will only, they'll be underneath, like they'll be shorter than these pages, so that way you won't see them. Because then you're going to want to stitch around each one of these to secure it really well. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Another project in the works. I love this one though. I think this is going to be great with some embroidery right there. I'll find something that has complementary colors. And then here we go. There's another stitch sample book. So I'll have 2 of them. And then the last thing I want to show you, this is something that I have been working on at my daughter's when I'm babysitting. And I'll show you what these are for in a minute. I'll put that off to the side. So what this is, I'm excited. You're not going to be able to see this whole thing because it's big. Right now it's thundering and lightning outside. Okay, this is my reveal. I'm very excited about this project. Look at this. I'm making a Japanese rice bag, and these are the panels that I made. So let me, are they stitched on? They're held on with a pin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them off the background and I'll show you each one individually. I just pinned them in the middle with one pin. No big deal. I'm going to show you them individually. I should have done this before. I apologize. I wasn't thinking. This is kind of an impromptu video. I wasn't even planning on doing a video tonight. But I have all these projects and I want to move on with them. But I also wanted to show you guys what I've been working on. And that I have been working in the background. This one, I don't know, I pinned the whole thing to everything. It doesn't need to be that way. I'm going to be stitching this with a sewing machine. But I want to show you all the hand stitching I did. All right, this is going to be the background, like the inside of the Japanese rice bag. It's a pretty coordinating material that I had. Again, just trying to use things up. So look at these. These are, I have my mother's handkerchief collection, and what I did was I cut them up. I had seen Corinne from To Be Loved Treasures by Corinne. I watch her all the time. I love her projects. She's amazing. She produces, like, I don't know how she produces as much as she does. It's amazing. But look what I did. I use this really fine, almost like a filament thread. And I stitched these on first, each one. And then I did straight stitching all the way across. And it made one piece of material. Underneath, it's just, oh, it's a mess under there, but thankfully you can't really see the stitches. Once it's covered like this, you're not even going to see that. But I just love the look of this. And then this is some thin denim from a shirt. I had a shirt. It was my favorite shirt, but my daughter had a dress that was made out of this exact same material, and her dog ripped it, and I had to replace some of it. So I had to use part of my favorite shirt to fix my daughter's dress, and I did, and it came out beautiful, and she looked beautiful in it. I'm always rescuing my daughter when it comes to clothing. I'm always fixing the back or the hem or adding a panel in the front or putting a belt on it or whatever. making it from scratch. I've been doing that her whole life. I took her from her christening gown to her wedding gown. But I just love the look of this. These are all just either little pieces of embroidery that I had or pieces from one of my mother's handkerchiefs. Different little flowers and things. They came off of some of her, yeah, like this is from one of the handkerchiefs, and some of these other pieces are from the handkerchief. But then I have little pieces of embroidery here and there. I think this one goes like this. And I just love the way it all came together. Now, some of these I stitched vertically in rows, and some of them, so 2 are stitched vertically and 2 are stitched horizontally, just to add a little bit of interest and change it up a little bit. But I just love it. I added little pieces of scrap lace that I had. I just love the look of this. Now this one is upside down. They are directional, like you can tell this one goes like this because this flower is supposed to be that way. This one too. So they are directional, so I have to pay attention to which way they go once I put it together. But and they're not exactly perfect. I tried to make them as close to each other as I could, but you know, and also as you stitch, the material starts to shrink up a little bit. But I think they're going to be great, and this is going to make a beautiful Japanese rice bag. I want to use the rice bag to put my lace scraps in. I think that will be nice, and I'd like to make more of them. I don't want to just make one, but this is the first attempt. And if you can see the beautiful stitching, it shimmers. I just love it. And I tried to use up some laces that I had, little scraps, and a lot of pieces from little like doilies and embroidered pieces, parts of my mother's handkerchiefs. And I just think it's going to be beautiful. And this is going to be my lining, and I just think it'll go great with the denim, this, and each of the panels. I'm so excited to make this. What I decided to do is, again, I'm always trying to use things up. This is just some thick cloth that I have. I'm not going to use it for anything underneath. I'm going to have to trim it up a little, obviously. But that's going to give it some more stability. And then I'm going to stabilize each of the panels, the denim panels, before I stitch it together. And I just think it's going to be beautiful. I do have to remember I have to make 4 tabs, and I do have some drawstring that I'll use. And I'll take you along on the process as I go. So here's the other one. Is this the right way? That is. So I have another one. I'm just trying to use it up. And I think this is going to be amazing. This is so far one of my favorite sewing projects I've ever done. Each one of these panels took me a really long time to do each one. And I didn't want to show anybody when I was stitching it. This was something for me to do, and I would do it when my little granddaughter was sleeping, and I just loved it. Now I see right here, I might get some of that thread and go over it with a few stitches. I don't like how that's flapping up like that. Everything else is down really nicely. I made sure that I stitched everything on very securely first. Everything, every single piece. Then I stitched all the way across like that. I just love it. Let me know what you think of these projects. If there's a favorite one that you like, or if there's one that you'd like to see me work on, let me know in the comments, and I'll see what I can do. Well, thank you for coming to my channel. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Happy crafting.